So today I'm going to show you a pair of pants that I've been drawing on. We exhumed it from the depths of the closet. You know, those old clothes that take up space in the closet, and you thought, oh, maybe these are going to be a great pair of pants that I'll wear every day. Or, I mean, with these pants, I didn't even think I was going to wear them every day. I think they were purchased as a, like, kind of slightly dress up occasion, like business casual. And they were this like really thick kind of like khaki material. They're black pants, so they're not khakis, but they have that kind of like heavy duct cotton feel. I've been drawing on clothes a lot over the last year. I haven't really made a video about it because it's kind of hard to make a video about drawing on clothes, especially when the process is something that I'm coming up with on the fly. Today I'm going to take you through the process of making these pants and why I chose to do certain things. We're going to be focusing mostly where I drew a portrait on the knee of the pants. It's a self-portrait because you're always your most available and cheapest model. But the first question you might have is, why are you drawing a portrait on the knee of your pants? Like, why are you choosing to represent yourself on your own pants and then wear this in public? Honestly, the reason is because, first off, I love drawing portraits. And you don't really need a reason more than that. For me, drawing is an expression of like how you think. It's the process in your head. And a self-portrait is really looking at yourself and analyzing what angles make up your face, like what angles and what lines and what characteristics make up the presence that is you. Like, what do people see when they look at you? But having these drawings on your body and publicly visible and representing that thought process to the world is kind of autobiographical. It's a way of publishing yourself, you know, of being like, it's kind of like posting on Twitter. You're making a statement, you're making a visual comment to the world about yourself. And that's kind of the starting point for this project. That's why I decided to draw on clothes. And the way we get to the final image is kind of interesting because I'm using pretty unconventional means to paint on clothing. You know, normally you would use something like fabric paint and you would heat set it and you would do layers and you would slowly kind of accumulate colors and have like a really strict plan of how you're going to get an image onto the fabric of the clothing. Even if you're just painting on it, there is a traditional way of doing this. But I am not doing that. I'm actually treating it a lot like the way I treat a canvas. So I start off by gessoing the whole surface, you know, taking some good old primer and a house paintbrush and doing a few layers of gesso across the fabric of the clothing. This gives me a really good way to experiment with media. So, you know, on these pants, I tried using some graphite. I have these like really nice graphite blocks that I can draw with. I like those dark gray kind of marks. But in the end, I decided to use my blue pens that I love. They're these Pilot Precise V5 pens. You can get them in packs of like 4 or 5. And sometimes you can get them in different colors, so you can get like black and blue and red. I love the blue ones for my drawings usually. They stand out, they leave such a nice mark, they're pretty consistent. Although it looks like I may have broken the tip on this one. Gesso is not the friendliest to pens. Ballpoint pens are a little bit better. But after getting a few layers of gesso down, I started in on the portrait. And the portrait was really interesting because first off, I'm using this really tiny mirror to see myself. It's extremely difficult to see your whole face in one of these. So you're kind of doing it piece by piece and fitting the puzzle pieces together as you go. I just really like having these because they're just simple, they fit in your hand. They're really the most straightforward mirror you could use to do a self-portrait because they're just like right there, you know, they fit in my pocket, I can take them with me, I can do it in a coffee shop if I want to. And I just use it all the time. So that's why I'm doing it with a mirror. It's just convenience. Towards the end, I decided that I needed some darks and lights to make it distinguishable from a distance. You know, if you're wearing these outside, most people are going to see you from at least 10 feet away. And you especially don't look at people's pants when you're closer, for the most part. I don't think you do. I don't. And since the blue pen only kind of shows one value on this gessoed surface. It holds on to all the ink. There's no seepage, it doesn't drain, so you can't get different values by pressing harder. It just doesn't work on this surface. So I had to start doing some cross-hatching, which is just the process of making marks that intersect so that they create value, and putting lines closer together and farther apart to get that feeling of form turning and lines and light changing across the surface. In the end, I was really happy with how it came out. I'm gonna do another portrait of Kira, my wife, on the other leg, and we'll see how that goes. I'll probably make a video about that too. Every time I finish a piece on clothing, I like to take it out for a spin and see how it feels to be in public wearing this thing. Usually it feels pretty uncomfortable at first. You know, you're wearing something that you just customized and you drew on, and it's a new piece of fashion in your wardrobe. So that always feels uncomfortable. I've never gotten like a new standout piece in my wardrobe and been like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable to like wear this immediately in public. But I think that's a common feeling. So you kind of have to wear something for a while in public before you start to realize, hey, no one cares. Like, you're the one who cares the most about what you're wearing. And that's just how it is. But I really like the feeling of living inside these clothing, you know, going to get a cup of coffee inside the clothing that you just customized, and seeing the results in public. You know, maybe take a photo of yourself somewhere or talk to a stranger about them, you know, tell someone about them. Whether you're in a gallery or in public or with a friend, talking to someone about your art is really the best way to know how it feels, the best way to feel that expression that you just made. And I mean, that's why I'm making this video, to talk to you. It's for purely selfish reasons. And I mean, I'd love to hear what you think, because this is a first step for me. You know, I've drawn on clothes and painted on clothes a lot over the last year, but I'm starting to get this process down where I really like the look of these fine blue pen marks and the kind of build-up of these weird drawings on pants, or clothing or jackets. Anything that you wear, I'm going to be drawing on. That's my goal, at least. When I was in high school, I really wanted to just draw on all my clothes, and I did on a lot of them. But you know, your parents aren't usually pleased with personal customization of clothing that they purchased and are expecting you to wear in a normal fashion. Though my mom was pretty supportive when I would do it, she just kind of didn't like it. But now that I'm in my 30s, I figure I have every right to be able to customize my own clothing and draw on every single pair of pants that I own. And there's no one who can tell me I can't do this. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of this art or watch me play some video games. I do both on this channel. I'm learning how to make these art videos, and I only plan to get better.